made it possible for us to meet on this wonderful day that's called Shabbat. We give you praise. And we adore you, Father. We lift up our hands to you in the sanctuary of your people. We make known to you that we are your people. We thank you for life, health, strength, ability to function in righteousness and a state of mind. We thank you that you have given us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And on this particular day that's called the Sabbath, we gather to praise your set-apart name. Thank you that you have been our protector when we didn't even know we needed to be protected. You've kept us from hurt, harm, and danger. Let your Ruach, your spirit, permeate and fill this house that we're gathered in today. Let your spirit fall upon the worship, upon the teacher that's going to teach today. And let those everywhere where Israel is gathered today be filled with your set-apart spirit. Amen. Come into your presence with thanksgiving. We enter your courts in praise. It's in the atmosphere of worship and the presence of your name. We sing Yahweh. Come into your presence with thanksgiving. We enter your courts in praise. It's in the atmosphere of worship and the presence of your name. We sing Yahweh, Yahweh. Yeah, we lift up holy hands in your presence. We bow before your throne in praise. It's in the atmosphere of worship and the presence of your name. We sing Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. There is joy in your name, Yahweh. There is victory in your name, Yahweh. in your name. Yahweh, Yahweh is in your name. Yahweh, Yahweh is in your name. Yahweh, Yahweh, it's in your name. Yahweh, Yahweh, everything that you are, everything that you are, yeah, yeah, everything that you are, it's in your name. Yes, 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 yes. Shabbat, 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 Shalom to all of you beautiful people who have made it out here in this beautiful tabernacle that we call First Tabernacle Fellowship. And for those who are watching by stream, may the peace of Yahweh be with you. As we ended last night the feast of Matzah, it has been a wonderful week of celebration. For this is the day that Yahweh has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. And for those who are listening by stream, this is for you. I'm glad you're here. I love your smile. It brings me joy to know you're here. For the Father's made it possible to gather on this day. We are family. Hey, we are family. Yeah, we are family. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I love your smile. It brings me joy to know you're here. Hey, for the Father made it possible to gather on this day. We are hey, hey, we are family. Yeah, we are family. And I'm glad that you're here. I love your smile. It brings me joy to know you're here. For the Father made it possible to gather on this day. We are family. We are family. Yeah, we are family. And I'm glad you're here. Lift up your head, Yahweh's people. Lift up your head and give him praise. Yeah. Lift up your head, Yahweh's people. Lift up your head and give him praise. Here we go, here we go. Yeah, yeah. Come on. Here we go. Lift up those hands and give him praise. Hey! Lift up those hands and give him praise. Hey! Lift up those hands and give him praise. Lift up your head, Yahweh people. Lift up those hands and give him praise. Lift up those hands, Yahweh people. Lift up those hands and give him praise. For the Father made it possible to gather on this day. We are family. We are family. Hey, we are family. We are family.
Hey! Hey, we are family, and I'm glad you're here. Oh, man. Woo! We are family, and I am so glad that you are here. Well, it has been a while, and I am so glad that the Father has blessed First Tabernacle once again with a beautiful, beautiful song. I'm very anxious to sing it for you. Bear with me, it's new to me. It's called Creation, and I hope that it's a blessing to you. You hung the sun, the moon, and the stars. I'm amazed at who you are. Created just for me. Because of you, I am redeemed. I thank you for your love. I thank you for your peace in the time of storm. I thank you for your joy. Now I stand in victory. Yeah. The trees wave and the birds sing. The fish are swimming in the streams. The oceans are large and they are vast. Wonders created by your hands. I thank you for your love. I thank you for your peace in the time of storms. I thank you for your joy. And I stand in victory. Victory. I thank you for your peace, your love. I thank you for your peace in a time of storm. I thank you for your joy. Now I stand in victory. Yeah. You hung the sun, the moon, and stars. I'm amazed at who you are. Created just for me. Now I stand victory. I thank you for your love. I thank you for your peace in a time of storm. I thank you for your joy. Now I stand in victory. Yahweh, Yahweh. Yahweh, Yahweh. Yahweh, Yahweh. Yahweh, Yahweh. Yahweh, Yahweh, we say la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Thank you for your love. I thank you for your peace in a time of storms. I thank you for your joy. Now we stand in victory. Yeah, yeah.
Shabbat shalom to everybody. It is so good to be in the house of the Most High once again. We had a wonderful closure of Passover, Pesach season with the closure of the Feast of Matzah on yesterday evening. And here we are today on this Shabbat, and Yahweh has been absolutely wonderful. While it is that the religious world gets ready to celebrate Estar Day, it's Estar Day. It's not Easter, it's Estar Day. Astarte is the goddess of fertility. I always wondered why and what Easter bunnies and baby chicks had to do with Easter. because they're fertile and they are reproductive, as Astarte. And somehow the Europeans have connected Astarte with something that has nothing at all to do with anything that is scriptorial. The Masoretic texts, from which the Hebrew scriptures come from, have absolutely, positively no connection to Astarte other than to remind us that it is idolatrous. So they will gather, fundamental Christianity will gather on tomorrow to celebrate what they call Easter, which comes from the pagan idol Astarte, and they will connect it to a death and a burial of a man who got beat up and got killed in it. Our Elohim, Hebrew people, our Elohim, Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, has never, ever, ever, ever lost a fight. He is undefeated. There is no power greater than the Creator of all things. We stand in knowledge, understanding, and wisdom that comes from the teachings of Torah and the teachings of the Most High El. The fact that the religious world celebrates this day with fervor, and a majority of them don't even know what it's about, allows me to know that there is a void in something that is very, very critical and very important, and that is fear and admiration for the Creator of all things. If you knew Him, if you knew the Most High El, you would fear Him, and you would not do things that would provoke His anger. If you have read texts, you would understand how His Spirit flares up and becomes very, very, very disturbed when His people worship idols. He hates them. Therefore, you become an enemy of the Most High El and not His friend. The question arises that how can you say you love El, the Mighty One, the Creator of all things, and do not understand what he likes and what he doesn't like. And then you say you love him. Doesn't quite work that way. I have been sitting in the seat of Mashe since 2007 and come to a very clear understanding that there is a difference between that which is set apart and that which is not. I have come to a clear understanding of that which is spoken and signed by the Most High as opposed to that which is not. In my dissertation a few weeks ago, controversy and idolatrous terms, I provided to you a historical outline of all of the European texts that are out there and provided to you an understanding as to how it got to be the way it is. And it amazes me that men who are supposed to be very smart and have the cognitive ability to deduce continue to espouse an idolatrous doctrine. But I get it. As I watched on television yesterday, a young lad, 5 years old, they call him Pastor somebody, forget now. Daddy has a church, and he's done a few things that have gone viral on Facebook and TikTok, and the young lad, they call him Pastor. He ain't but 5 years old. And they asked him, well, this is your busy season, isn't it? Oh, yeah. The young lad is very, 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 as they would say, very well spoken. Asked him what his sermon text was going to be for today, and he quoted a text from Proverbs chapter, verse, quoted the verse. I said, oh my God, that's a learned behavior. That's a learned behavior. And I listened to the narrative from his parents as they parade him around the country. And I said to myself, Most High, your people are using you and your word as a platform for entertainment. That's not what it's for. And that's not what it's about. Well, I am going to talk to you today, but I want to share some information with our viewers before I do. Yahweh's Exiled Empire. It's what we do every Shabbat day, Saturday, or on our local channel here in Sacramento, 5 o'clock and at 8 p.m., SAC TV, Comcast Channel 20, Consolidated Channel number 19, and on AT&T Channel 14. We'd ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Yahweh's Exiled Empire. And when you do subscribe to the channel, you'll know when and every time we go live. Our live stream is on Shabbat day, and we also live stream our podcast, Hebrews in Exile. And so you can keep up with the teachings and the things that we are talking about as we move forward. Well, let's go. Today I'm going to talk about Yahweh's purpose for Adam. Adam. Adam simply is a terminology that defines man. Adam is not man's name, it's just man. And we're going to talk about that today. Yahweh's purpose in man starts with this particular verse here in Bereshit, which is Genesis chapter number 1 and verse number 26. It reads in this fashion. Then El said, "Let us make humankind in our image and in the likeness of ourselves." We want to stop it there. We're going to come back to the other portion a little later. As we look at the text seems to afford us with the idea that there is a consultation going on between El and who. And the who is always the question. Let us make humankind in our image. The Most High El has no physical image. However, the Spirit does have a likeness and it does have a resemblance. How is that so? The Most High El, when he created you and I, he gave us something that is a part of him that resides within us. And that's his divine spirit. If you wonder why it is that melanated people have such a uniqueness in the world, eloquent, very knowledgeable, very creative, and that's because the melanated man was the first man, the first creation of humankind that the Most High created. Therefore, he becomes the Father, and the Father has placed within the created man part of the DNA that allows him to be creative. The majority of a lot of things that we in society are introduced to and have as part of our civilized lifestyle are the inventions of individuals that are melanated. But the text says that in the likeness of ourselves. So let's look at another verse to see if we can discover who the ourselves are. Psalms, Tehillim, chapter number 8, verse number 6. The psalmist writes these words and he says, "You made him but a little lower than the angels. You crowned him with glory and honor." We're going to stop it right there. We'll come back to verse 7 a little later. The text in Tehillim, the hymn, is man, who was made a little lower than the Malachim. Malachim is angels. This text is not about a demigod. It's not about Jesus Christ. It's about you. It's about man. It's simply about created man. Well, do Malachim have form? Yes, they do. If you've ever had the experience to see a malach or an angel, they appear looking like human beings, but they aren't. They're heavenly spirit beings that ascend. They're large. They're huge. And if you ever see one, if you're walking in the rightness of the Most High, they won't frighten you. They'll give you a sense of peace. Our text defines the stature of man. He has some of the features of the Malach angels, but man does not have the divine aspects of the Malach or angels, therefore being made lower in a state than they are. What's the purpose? What's the purpose of the Malach? What's the purpose of angels? The purpose of angels is to act as messengers of Yahweh. They come at the behest of the Most High to bring messages from the Most High to individuals who are in a place and state of mind to receive the message that the Most High wants to bring. Such we see in Bereshit, chapter number 16 and verse 7, which is only one of many verses in text that reads, "The angel of Yahweh found her by a spring in the desert," the spring on the road to Shur, "and said," talking about Hagar, "Hagar, Sarah's slave girl, where have you come from and where are you going?" This is called Yahweh's messenger, or the Malach, or the angel of Yahweh. We find a similar kind of text when we find that Abraham has circumcised himself and he's positioned by the road, and a messenger appears to him, 3 men, to bring him a message. The message was one that Abraham was going to have a son born to him in his old age? Text says, and 2 men or 3 men appeared to him. Those were Malak. So through all of these passages, we can see from Bereshit chapter 1, the origin of man comes into being in reference to text. Who is the us? It's the Malachim, also known as the heavenly court, who reside in the heavens with Yah. And we can see that in Bereshit chapter 11, verse number 7. This same verbiage is used. It says, Yahweh said, look, the people are united. They are all single language. And see what they're starting to do. At this rate, nothing they set out to accomplish will be impossible for them. Here's the word that brings the consultation. Let us come. Let's go down and confuse their language so that they won't understand each other's speech. Here the text, once again, we see the heavenly host summoned to a task with the Most High El. So with these two texts in play, we can deduce that the us and the let's, the Most High El, is summoning the heavenly host, the Malak. Our image and likeness is a reference to the heavenly host, the Malak, and the divine spirit. So we work in this harmony. They work in this harmony with the Most High. And what the Most High demonstrates to us is that while it is that he is superior and he really doesn't need any help, yet he shows us that in my superior state, I still take counsel and invite counsel or invite the host to work in concert with me as we deal with the plethora of issues that pertain to man. The next question that we have to ask is, we're going to go back to Bereshit chapter number 1, verse 26. We have to ask ourselves a question. And what's the question? Well, what's the purpose of man? Man has a purpose. Let them do what? Let them rule over the fish of the sea, the birds in the air, the animals, over all the earth, over everything crawling creature that crawls on the earth. And El created humankind in his own image. In the image of El, he created him, male, female, he created them. There is a purpose. There is a reason that man is created. This is part of it. Psalms chapter 8 gives us the same parallel statement. It says, for you had him to rule what your hands have made. You put everything under his feet, sheep, oxen, all of them, also animals in the wilds, the birds in the air, the fish of the sea, whatever passes through the paths of the sea. Now, so we see that man is created in an image and a likeness of the things that pertain in the us, in the heavenly host, the Malak, who are messengers and who work hand in hand with the Most High. And they reside in the heavens. So in the Eretz, there has to also be a counterpart that works in harmony with the Most High in the Shemayim. To do what? To rule over what the Most High has created. Make a note. I said rule. You have got dominion. You will rule over. Since the Most High knows all things, and the thoughts of man before man acts, the fall of man was not a surprise to him. The Most High created man to have dominion over creation and to do something that was very important, and that is to cling to him. We are frustrated. We are, as a people, concerned. And I remember a few years back, one of the vice presidents began to speak out about a matter that's very important that people would want to ignore. It's called climate control. The Most High created man to rule and have dominion and have authority over everything that he created, and he gave us mitzvot. He gave us instructions how to take care of what he has created. And we have failed miserably. And in the failure of being miserable, there is a price to pay. Why do we have fire, rain, storms, and things that are outside the parameters of our ability to imagine? Fires spring up from nowhere. Floods spring up from nowhere. We have hurricanes that blow across the universe that are destructive. Why is it so? Because we have failed to do what the Most High asks us to do, have dominion and rule. So our text in Devarim, chapter 30, verse 19 says, I call heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have presented you with the life and death, the blessing and the curse. Therefore choose life so that you will live, you and your descendants, loving Yahweh your Elohim, paying attention to what he says, and clinging to him, for that is the purpose of your life. I've made you in my image. I've made you in my likeness. I made you in the likeness of the heavenly host, and the heavenly host does something that I created you to do. Cling to me. Shemot chapter number 10, verse 5, establishes man's position in the act of having dominion to conquer the failure of man in the beginning by establishing the role of kingship and priestly authority. Let's see what it says. Now, if you will pay careful attention to what I say and keep my covenant, then you will be my own treasure from among all the peoples, for all the earth is mine, and you will be a kingdom of coining for me, a nation that's set apart. The text says, you will be a king, having dominion and priestly authority, and the Most High's own treasure. So it is that man is established with a purpose in the earth and to be equal representative, so as it is in the heavens, so shall it be in the eretz. You will be my own special treasure. So note, now we've got two things going on. You're going to rule, you're going to have dominion, and you are going to be a king with priestly authority. So you say to me, well, Rabbi, That's after creation. I said, I know that's after creation. Does the Most High know all things? And the interesting thing about the Most High is the Most High plays not a game, but his actions are kind of like a chessboard. And you have to be on the receiving end of the chessboard to know how things are moving and how things are being orchestrated. And the only way that we can know how things are moving and things are orchestrated is if we are in sync with the Most High. How? By the divine Spirit. Everybody has within them and are made with the divine Spirit. Everybody doesn't function in it. And a lot of times it resides and lies dormant within us until there is an awakening. We are awakened in times of trouble. People turn to a power when they are embraced with things that are outside of the parameter of their control, or they're in a lost state. Or when trouble hits them so hard that they begin to cry out to El. You all may call him God. I can't do that. I've explained to you that in another teaching why I don't do that. There's the reason why you hear me use the term El. El is mighty one. When trauma hits us, when things affect us that are outside of the parameter of our control, we call on El. And then that divine Spirit is awakened. And there becomes a search and a questioning and a cry for help. Because now we realize that outside of this parameter of where we are, we need the divine help of the one who has created us. What has he created us to do? Have dominion, have rulership, have authority. With priestly control, that means in order to have priestly control, I have to have a divine spirit that connects to the Most High. I have to begin to learn how to know him. Not a man. It's interesting that the text says, put no confidence in man. But your confidence is in a man, and tomorrow around the world they'll be celebrating his death, burial, and supposedly resurrection. If my divine spirit is connected to the Most High, I recognize that the Most High don't die. He don't have a resurrection. And he's created you to be like him. Therefore, you wonder why he says to us, be set apart as I am set apart. The only way that you and I can be set apart as he is set apart is we must have what? The divine spirit, which is like him. And we must be able to understand our purpose for being here. What do I need to do? Pay attention to what I'm saying. You go back to Devarim, chapter 30. For your purpose in life is to cling to him. So, we understand something. Man is created with a divine spirit in an image that's a little lower than the Malach, the angels, given what? Dominion. An obedient spirit and will, man is set to function in the Eretz, the land, the way the host of heaven functions in complete obedience to the Most High in the Shemayim. Now, Bereshit chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, El created the heavens and the earth. What's that tell me? The verse tells me that everything that constitutes the heavens and the host, the Malach, that goes with the heavens was created in the beginning, and everything else follows after the heavens was in place. The Malach, the angels, were there all a part of the Most High before he begins the rest of the dissertation of creation. Read it, it's right there in Bereshit. So it's easy for him to say, when it comes after things are created, it's easy for him to say, well, let us, heavenly hosts, let us make man in our image and in our likeness, and give him something that's very unique to him in the Eretz. Dominion, authority, kingship, and priestly rule. We all know that the text provides all of the creative matter, and man is the last to be created. Let's take note that that precedes man's function in complete obedience to the Most High's will. Now, let's look at something that's very unique. The stars, the heavenly hosts, created before man. What do the stars do? The stars appear in the sky every night in order and on time. They don't miss a beat. They function at the will and the behest of the obedience of the Most High, and they never get out of order. The moon appears out of its portal every evening. It sits in the sky. It never misses its place. It arises at the time that the Most High defines for it to arrive. It doesn't say, oh, I think I'll show up a little later. Oh, maybe I just won't show up at all today. But it's obedient to the Most High. The sun rises in the east and it sets in the west every day. And the only time you can see it is on a cloudy day. But it doesn't argue. It doesn't debate with the Most High. It works in obedience to the Most High. It's part of the heavenly host. The galaxies maintain their positions, never colliding with each other. Oh, we look and we say, well, they come close. Maybe one of them's going to hit. No, it's not. The only way one of those galaxies can misperform is if the Most High directs it to do so. And if he directs it to do so, he's going to do it as a result of an act of judgment. The elements produced at the behest of the Most High. It rains when he says it's going to rain. It doesn't rain when the weatherman says it's going to rain. And how is it that now and then the weatherman gets it wrong, but rain shows up when the Most High says it's going to rain? The elements, snow and all of the elements, they work at the behest of the Most High. The Malach, the angels, move at the Most High's direction. They constantly worship the Most High. You said that man was created to worship him. No, everything that the Most High has created is created as a means of worship. For the heavens declare what? The glory, the phenomenal things that we can't even explain. We can send a telescope and a camera just so far, and it can only see so far. But there is a range beyond that it cannot see. The angels worship and they bow before him in constant appeal, and they give him glory and majesty. All of these are obedient to the Most High's will. Man is created to follow suit, but then there arose the fall. Take note that everything that is part of the heavenly host resides in the heavens and is obedient to the will of the Most High El. Then there's man. Yahweh establishes his position, and man's position exists in Psalms 115. Let's look at it. It says in Psalms 115:16, it says these words: the heaven belongs to Yahweh, but the earth he has given to humankind. Mark it. Mark it. The heaven belongs to Yahweh, but the earth he has given to humankind. This tells me that man is never going to be in the heavens. It belongs to El and his hosts, but the earth is given to mankind. Yeshayahu, Isaiah number 44, verse number 6. Thus says Yahweh, Israel's king and redeemer, Yahweh Sabaoth of hosts. I am the first, and I am the last. Beside me there is no El or mighty one. This tells me that Yahweh is king and that the earth is to be lived in without chaos. And that's the next verse. Verse number 45, verse 18. For thus says Yahweh, who created the heavens, El, who shaped and made the earth, who established and created it not to be chaos, but formed it to be lived in. Then he signs it. I am Yahweh, there is no other. So everything is set in place. Every aspect of the position of man is preordained. Yahweh is king over all, but he does something which we established back in Shemot 10:5. He established kingship for those who are obedient to his mitzvahs.
keeping in mind that all has been previously established, we can now look at man in creation through the eyes of the Most High El, and how El sees man in the Eretz. Setting that platform and establishing the fact that man is created with a divine spirit, given authority and dominion. The Most High is the king in the Shemayim, in the heavens. Right? The heavenly hosts reside with him in the Shemayim, and they do his bidding. They provide his messenger service to man on the Eretz. Yahweh looked around and he says, I've got the heavenly host and everything that pays attention to me and follows my orders. Doesn't argue, doesn't change anything, always on time. The stars appear on time. The moon appears on time. The sun appears on time. The elements work on time. Let us create man and give man something special to do, because man can't reside up here with me. I've got all of you up here that worship me. And if man was going to live in the Shemayim with me, and if he's going to be here with me, the best that he could be would be a prince. So let me create man. And let me give him something special in earth to do. Let me make him a king. And let me put him in the Eretz and give him some dominion and give him some authority. And let him be my representative to take care of everything that I've created. Adam, man, I'm creating you. And I'm giving you authority over everything I've created. And to show you, Adam, that you're a king in the Eretz, I'm not even going to name the things that I have created. I'm going to give that to you, because as it is in the heavens, so shall it be in the Eretz. You have my divine spirit. You have my understanding. You already know in the heavens what all these things are that I've created. Therefore, I'm going to give you the responsibility to name them all. And so Adam functions. And the Most High looks at the king man that he has created, and he says, that's good. But there's something you need to do, because everything that I've created follows the orders of heaven. I need you to do the same thing in the Eretz. King. So what am I going to do? I'm going to give you a mitzvah. I'm going to ask you to follow it. You've done well, because you've named all the animals that I've created. You've named all the things that swarm in the sea and upon the ground. Now I'm going to ask you to do something. You see the tree over there in the midst of the garden? Your mitzvah, your commandment that I need you to obey, king, is to don't eat of it. For the day that you do, you will surely become like one of us. But in becoming like one of us, you will have to be obedient. And your failure to do that causes me to put into existence the thing that I knew was going to happen, that you would fail. But in your failure, you're still not going to ruin my idea of having kingly priesthood in the Eretz. For when I give you priestly authority in the Eretz, it's going to be for those of Israel. That here, Israel, if you will pay close attention to what your ancestor Adam didn't do, if you will pay close attention to my mitzvot and my commandments, because I own everything, you will be a kingdom of Kohanim. Let's break it down. So you will be a king, Israel, having priestly authority in the Eretz. I'm going to give you, if you will follow my mitzvot and you will follow my commands, I'm going to give you the authority. Like the messengers in the Shemaim that bring messages to you, that you will be able to speak with priestly authority to everything in the earth, and it will have to line up and come in line with what I have said. Because who are you? You're my king in the Eretz. You're my messenger. You're my authority. This is not about an entertainment. This is not about a show. This is about people walking in the authority of the kingship that the Most High has given you. That the nations around you will look at you and know that you have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And that when you open your mouth, things happen. And they don't happen for a show for everybody. Oh, let's go see. Let's go see. No. They happen because you and I are walking in authority. We don't have to hear some pundit say, oh, I got a word from El today. So-and-so is going to happen. Pass it on to somebody else. No. That's, no. No. I'm a king. I walk like a king. They used to say that I had an air about me. He has an air about him. Well, I didn't know back then that I was who I am. Now that I know who I am, you're doggone right. I know that based on my relationship that I now have with El and the divine spirit and the kingly role that I have, I now know that when I pray and when I talk to him, I know that he hears me. I'm not hoping. Well, here it is. Here it is. Let's touch and agree, and let's believe. I'm out of the school of belief. I'm out of the school of touch and agree. I'm in the school now of where I know that when I talk to him, I know he hears me. I'm not hoping, I'm not believing, I know it for a fact. How do I know it? I'm his messenger in the Eretz. I'm his king in the Eretz. And he's given me priestly authority. Why do you think we keep talking about honoring and knowing the mitzvot that Europeans have told you is old, antiquated, done away with? So what he's telling you that your morals and your ethics don't exist anymore, because that's what the mitzvot are all about, morals and ethics. A king walks with authority. A king conducts himself in a manner that's respectful. A king doesn't play with the kingdom. A priestly king functions in the Eretz the same way the Malachim and all the heavenly host and elements function with the Most High. What do? You're obedient. 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 So now I can hear him say, and it makes perfect sense to me how it is that I can be set apart as he is set apart. In your terminology of understanding, set apart means be holy as I am holy. Don't use that term either. But I'm using it for clarity so you understand. I can do that because I'm made in his image and his likeness. I've got his divine spirit in me. So we don't have conflict anymore. I don't have conflict between my spirit and his spirit. I know the difference between the two. I know when he's speaking. I know when he's not. And you know what else is interesting? A person who has the Father's divine spirit and walks in obedience and walks in kingship can discern when you're lying. When you talk about Yah said something, oh, I have a word. I have a word for you. No, you don't. No. I'm going to ask you a question, King, supposedly, because the text says that every king shall write his own Torah. You know what's good about that? I've written mine. I've written mine. I have written down all of the mitzvot that the Most High has prescribed for me in this Eretz, and I know all of those that he has prescribed to me when we get in the land. I've already written them down. As a king, I've done that. He didn't tell me to write the whole book of the Old Testament. He said, write my rules and instructions. I've written them all down. I know what they are. I can function by them. I live by them. I walk by them. I sleep by them. I meditate like my ancestor King David. I meditate on them day and night.
So it is that when I open my eyes in the morning, and I'm just now coming to an awakening, I lay in my bed, and in my mind, the words of the Most High pass through my thoughts, and I begin to think and I begin to meditate upon them. As he talks to me about this divine spirit that I've given you, I connect with it. I understand it.
When Ambassador Appleton is up teaching and he brings us things from places, I realize as I sit in my chair, I hear divine spirit speaking. I hear revelation knowledge speaking. I don't sit there and, let me see. Well, let's see. Where can we prove that? I don't need to prove it. My spirit attests to it. And your spirit resonates with it. And all that we do from this point, from this place, in this house, is not geared to entertain you. I could go there. I could tell you that why don't you realize and wake up and understand that Yahweh has a purpose for your life. And that purpose for your life is to be a king. I could do all that. I could turn all that on. I could form a memory that remembers all the scriptures and can quote them with you. I could be Pastor Rapper. Make it all rhyme. But this is not about a show. This is about knowledge and understanding. Hey, King, your subjects are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Hey, King in the earth, I need you to do something. I need you to teach them. Hey, Mashe, you were my king. They called you a prophet, but you were a king. You had priestly authority. What'd you do? You taught them. That's my job. My job is to teach you and help you to understand who you are and what your purpose in life is. To do what, King? As the subjects in heaven obey me without question, I need you in the Eretz to do the same. We can't fix all that's gone wrong in the Eretz. Can't fix it. It's kind of like having kidney failure. Once your kidneys fail, guess what they can't do? They can't bring them back to 100%. Our earth is in decline. And I don't care how smart you are, men, you can't fix what you've done. It's done. The earth is on fire. The floods are rampant. The elements are obeying the Most High. The tornadoes are destroying you on every hand. It's the elements that are obeying the Most High. The floods are washing everything away. The elements are obeying the Most High. Hey, King, what you gonna do? As I come to closure today, I heard there was a convening of the religious world for a national prayer meeting. And the national prayer meeting was to pray that the things that are going wrong in America, that El would fix it and stop it. You know what I never heard? You know what I never heard? I never heard anybody come together and say, let us pray that El's will be done. How about that? Why don't we come together and pray that the Most High's will be done? Oh, I know why. Because if we pray that the Most High's will be done, this right here will be escalated. Because that's his army. And that's his judgment. And his judgment is being pronounced in the world. But hey, King, what shall we do? Well, I hear the psalmist said, what shall we do if the foundation be destroyed? What am I going to do? I'm going to keep on walking with the Most High. I'm going to keep on being the king that he called me to be. And I'm going to keep on representing him the way I'm supposed to. Well, that's all I got for you today. Hope you got something. Hope you got something. Yerekaka, Yahweh v'ishmereka. Ya'er Yahweh panava leka v'kanuka. Yasawa yed panava leka v'yasham laka shalom. May Yahweh bless you. May he keep you. May Yahweh make his face to shine on you and show you his favor. May Yahweh lift up his face towards you and give each one of you in this house and those that are listening, may he give you peace. And above everything that you've heard today, rise up and be a king. Rise up and be priestly. Rise up and display your divine spirit and authority. And be what Yahweh called you to be. Throw your shoulders back and walk with pride. And quit asking Egypt to help you. Call upon the Most High. And he will hear you and he will answer. Until next time, shalom.